it's a week today until Knit August Night starts. It's a very exciting time and a busy time for both Claire and I. We kind of feel like we're chasing our tails a little bit, but we don't we? Yeah, but we are getting there, and it's really, really exciting actually because there's so much to do. But things are sort of starting to build, which is neat. And I've been to the venue this morning and sort of had my final check through with him, which is awesome. And he's excited. It's been a 2-year hiatus. He calls us his knitting ladies. He misses us. He can't wait to have everybody back. We can't wait to have everybody here at Skeinz. And it's just, it's just going to be such a positive time for everybody just to get together and sort of leave life at the door for a weekend and just come together and knit and love yarn and just have a jolly grand old time, really. Can't wait. So today I have been honestly, Claire's heading over to the mill to check out new yarns for ones that we're hoping to bring to Can for the Can sale. That's what her and I have been working on all morning, is sort of finessing what's going to be in the sale. I'm going to give you some hints for those that want to plan for what is going to be in there, so you don't sort of double up on stuff over the weekend inadvertently. The sale does start next Wednesday and runs from Wednesday through Monday, so it's a nice short sale. It's only 5 days, but I've loaded some more stuff up today, so I'm going to talk about that a little bit in a minute. What I have been doing is I have been at home. Hey, everybody. Oh, Deanna. So she's driving all the way from down deep south to come see us for Can. I was just saying to Claire this morning, Deanna, that you're coming. You and Patrice is coming too. So going to be so good to have everyone from down south. It's going to be great. So what I've been doing, obviously, is I've been working on my Shoji, and I have some progress to show you. I was actually, this morning, I wanted to show Claire and Veronica how I was getting on, because the Shoji is a, have I got the pattern? No, the pattern. So let me pull it up so you can have a look. Let me pull it up. Let's move that over to here. So I can kind of show, because it was really interesting because it's designed, it's a sort of a folded origami style cardigan. And it's designed to be worn one of 2 ways. And I'll just show you how that looks now. It's now that I found it. I want to do that. Okay, right. So this is it here. So it's by Noragon. I've been look, this has been the work in progress to end all work in progresses. I think I started it May last year, and then when Can got postponed, it sort of got popped on hiatus for a while, and then it's back. And these are the 2 different ways that it can be worn. So this is the first format here, where it's worn with this double-ribbed collar, or you flip it around the other way and you wear it like this, and this ribbing sort of becomes a piece at the back. Oh, what did I do there? So this is the first little confetti. I'm going to leave this one to show you this. So this is one format where you've got the double ribbing as the collar, right? So me, being me, so let's put this here. Are you going to let me do that? No, you're not going to let me do that. So I got to the point, my 2.54 meters. Very exciting. I had to do a big swathe of fabric. Then you get a little bit of sewing. This thing is a whopper, an absolute whopper. So here it is here. Look, it's huge because it is a big cocoon cardigan. And of course, I'm not as svelte as the model in the picture. I'd love to be. I'd really love to be, but I'm just not. So this is the back, and there's the sort of back portion that I had in the image at the back. And this was I mentioned this in the diaries on Monday. This was the cock-up that I made. I couldn't believe it, that I'd done it. And she has both empirical and metric measurements in the pattern, but there's a couple of odd spots where she doesn't. She just has the empirical measurement. And of course I read it and I saw 2 inches, but my brain said 2 centimeters. So of course I knitted 2 centimeters of garter band. Now, I discovered that when I was finishing the other garter band. And then I thought, well, it doesn't really matter. I mean, she has a nice thick 2-inch band. I thought, well, I'm just going to have a thin band. That's all there is to it. And because this is double-stranded cozy with Whisper Fine mohair, it doesn't, like, there's no rolling or anything like that. Like, it actually sits really static. So it's not too lively and it's not doing anything weird and crazy. So this is sort of my little flappy bit at the back. And I tried it on last night. In my head, I thought, and I'll show you this, in my head, I thought I would be more likely to wear it in this format here, with the ribbing as the collar, the lozenge shown here at the back, and sort of have it worn more like this. And I tried it on, and it just really didn't sit how I wanted it to sit. It drove me crazy, actually. So I showed the girls, and I said, this is, I put it on for Claire and Veronica this morning, and it just didn't sit right, did it? Around it. Just wasn't quite right. So then I said to them, well, it is also designed to be worn this way around. So I flicked it around into this format, bearing in mind I don't have this portion there yet. I flicked it around into that format, and it sat beautifully. Like, sat really, really, really well. So that's the nice thing with it, I guess. You can sort of mix and match with it. I've got to put the collar on it. You have the option of doing a short row to have sort of a, suede back collar. I'm not going to do this because this is quite, it comes quite a ways down. I mean, it's certainly, even now I could wear it without putting that additional collar on there. It actually fits to that point. But I'm in the process of picking all of those stitches up, and I'm just going to do the ribbed collar and then I'm done. So it's actually really nice to be on the homeward stretch. And I started picking the stitches up last night. I've got 420 stitches to pick up, which I usually don't mind. But one of the things that Nora has done, and this is the genius of Nora Gunn, is that she designs things like with salvages to make your life easy. And one of the things she's done with, let me spin this around so you can see it. So as you can see, there's this lovely edging. I've talked about this before. It's like an I-cord edging there with this lovely little garter band, and it just helps everything sit. But part of the reason for it is on this side, you can see probably through the halo, you can see those two knit rows there. What they had done, those knit rows are quite important. And what she has done by adding those is they're more than just a design element. When it comes to the construction, so on the outside, this is the right side, see how that I-cord becomes a feature across the back. You see that? And it actually sits proud, and it looks, and then you've got this garter portion here. Now, interestingly enough, in her pattern, this is much, much wider, right? Because I have done mine more narrow, for me, it's actually more balanced with the bit in the centre. So honestly, I'm not going to be terribly phased. But this is where having that row, that single line of stocking stitch on the inside is important, because this, when I came to pull them together, I can mattress stitch them using that row. So even though that this is a little bit of fuzz, there was a very, very clear roadmap of where I was just, oh, see, that was the one little bit where it all got a bit funky doos. Chardonnay, don't look at that bit. But as you can see, a really clear roadmap of where to go. So sewing it together was actually a doddle, because I could see very clearly with my mattress stitch where I was, weaving and carrying on. Where I'm at right now is I'm picking up the 420 stitches. I'm about a third of the way, or a quarter of the way around. There's my halfway point there. Now, if you asked why have I got the halfway point there, I needed that for the folding, but I've left it there because it's easier for me to know that I've got 220 stitches to pick up to that point. And in fact, I'll measure these again in the number of things, and I'll possibly, just so I can divide them all up. And so you pick up your stitches again in that, across into that. Ooh, can you see it there? There we go. Into that portion there. This, I tried doing it last night, and of course I'm trying to do it, and husband and son are watching telly, and yeah, I struggled. I got this far, and I was just, it does require patience. I've actually got a nice pointy needle in a slightly smaller size to actually get all those stitches picked up. I will get those done today, this afternoon, and then I'm away laughing. And that's it. And then cast off, and then I'm done. I've even woven the edges in already, my ends in. So the end is nigh. The end is very, very nigh. It is a really clever design. There's a lot of it, a massive amount of fabric, particularly when you're doing it in my size. If you weren't doing it in my size, it would probably be a lot less daunting. It's also a little bit more daunting because I've chosen to do it double, because it's designed for a double knit. I've chosen to do it in this double stranded format because I wanted this to show the use of the fabric using the Whisper Fine, but also using a more rustic yarn like the Cozy, just to show you how it transforms something quite utilitarian into something really truly marvelous. And I think I've been able to prove that, and it will look amazing. And it was incredible when I tried it on before we opened with Veronica and Claire, and we put it on the first way around. And I just said to them, "Oh gosh, I can't believe I've done all this work, and I'm just not feeling a hundy about the fit." I said, "I know it looks good at the back." I said, "I think the fit's good in the back, but I'm not happy with how it sits around the arms and la la la." Spun it round 180 degrees, fit perfectly across the shoulders. That flap sat round, it fit beautifully around the back. It felt much better around the arms. And I thought, right, perfect. And obviously for each, the fit will depend on the person. And for me, it was like putting on a glove, and it sat beautifully, looked great. And all three of us were like, well, there you go then. And I hadn't done that the night before. I just put it the way I assumed I would wear it. So that was a really interesting exercise to do. And I'm glad I did it because I feel so much happier about it now. So that's where I'm at. I am just so close with this now. I think this project, it looks amazing in this. It really does. I have seen one of these knitted in Albertine. I think Albertine would make a stunning shoji, absolutely stunning. Also, too, I think this would work really, really, really well in vintage DK. You'll get the beautiful stitch definition and all those lovely little features like that. This I-cord edging and lovely selvage would just sit so crisply in vintage abroad DK. And I mentioned that specifically because that is going to be we've only got, I think, we've only got essentially two core ranges in the can sale, and vintage abroad is one of them, both in DK and 10 ply, and Kelly & Co, which I'm wearing today, which is why I wore this today, is the other. So everything else that is going to be in the sale, and there's if the 10 ply that's currently sitting on the sale page, I'm going to give that a little bit more of a nudge as well. So don't buy any of that until Wednesday. But essentially everything else that's coming into the sale is not currently appearing online. It's new. That's exciting, isn't it? So those are the only core ranges that are going to be there. So Kelly & Co and vintage DK and vintage 10 ply. So if you're thinking of doing a shoji and vintage, I just think vintage would be perfect. And we're doing vintage per ball, so that's going down to $3.95 a ball, which is a great price for vintage. So that's what that's going out at. And Kelly & Co is going out back at $19.95 for a 100 gram skein of Kelly & Co. If you like what I'm wearing, this is the Nanook that I knitted by Heidi Kittermeyer. And I started knitting this time last year, would you believe? Because it was today last year, that we went into lockdown again. So that's when I picked up and actually started knitting this. Oh, good morning, everybody. It's so good to see everyone here this morning. Yay. Maureen, you're saying you're knitting and Claire are very matchy-matchy. Yeah, actually, Claire's got her love note. I think, no, she hasn't. I can never remember the name of what she's got on. It's pretty, isn't it? It's a beautiful lace sweater. She's actually got that on in a yarn that is the high twist merino. I'll segue into that in a minute. It's one of her, actually, she's coming, if she pokes her head back and I'll ask her what it's called because I always forget the name of that. It's not Adelaide. It'll come to me. Anywho, it's, yeah. And hers is also a very rich cyan color as well. So yeah, very matchy. I'm delighted with this. I'm so there. I'm so close to being finished. And doing sort of this much ribbing is going to be a doddle compared to doing so much of the main pattern. So let me just put this away. I'm just going to just grab something else and hopefully yeah, I do quite like it when I can find things. All right. Yes, and this is my Nanook. So this is in Kelly & Co. If you this pattern has been around since 2012. I think it's been around a while. I've had it I bought it not long after it was released, and I think I mentioned it last year. I thought, I've already got this in the library. I want to do it. I love this. I actually I'm going to knit another one of these in Kelly & Co. in this, or actually. Who was in there such a saying that you did one in 10-ply, vintage 10-ply? Tracy, yeah, you did one in vintage 10-ply. Actually, that's a great idea too. It is great. I found this a really enjoyable thing to knit. Really fast. It was so lightning fast. And I think I've got another project that I've already pegged that I want to do next, but I certainly do want to do another one of these again. It's very comfortable to wear. I enjoy wearing it. It feels great. Thank you, Charles. This was the leftover that I had. So, of course, I just whipped up a wee hat. So I am a bit matchy today. But I love it. Absolutely love it. So that is... so this is a great sort of suggestion as well. Again, vintage 10-ply being on sale, Kelly & Co being on sale. The 10-ply that's already on the sale page would look amazing in this too. So sometimes trying to find a yarn can be, you think, oh, what am I going to do? This was actually knitted for a DK. I just bumped the needle up to a 4.5 and that's all I did. And to be brutally honest, I wanted to get I did the largest size, put the needle size up, boom, Bob's your uncle. Fanny's your aunt, depending on how you're going. What else is going to be in the sale? Now, I did mention you've all seen my Ever After cow, which I did in the Nightfall, and I've gone and sent that. Have I sent that one off for photography? Yes, I have. So the fabulous Delene, who's in the chat, has been knitting up a storm for us, and I got her to knit me up because after seeing how fabulous this looked in Feather and Fan, I thought we need to get a project knitted up in this. That is it there. And this is the famous Mama Krista's Feather and Fan shell, designed by Mama Krista, the mother of Stephen B. And it looks fantastic in this yarn. And I did it because this is the sort of project that you can have, and you pair this with a beautiful pair of wide leg trousers or a pleated skirt, and it will look so sharp. And it's a quick knit. I mean, you could probably confirm that, Delene. It's a really, really quick knit, and it makes the most of this yarn. It helps diffuse the colors around. It's already got the black spun in there, and what you can't really see, can you see it? There's a shimmer in here. There is also a thread of lurex through here. So we've got 3 colors coming. This one is called Lisbon, which is in these beautiful blues and chocolate browns. Will look amazing with navy blue or black. Then we've also got one called, one is Lisbon, one is Prague, and I'm trying to remember what the third one is called. Istanbul, I think. And one of them is blues and greens, and the other one is deep, rich purples and purples and berries. Just beautiful shades, and they've all been designed to knit. Yeah, super fast, Delina's saying. And it's not, and not a lot of yarn needed either. So there you go. That's great. Good news. And it just gives you a garment that looks fantastic, and actually something a little bit special. And, particularly with Christmas party season coming up, it's an interesting yarn. It's 120 meters per 50 gram equivalent, so to 125 actually, 250 meters in 100 gram skein. And it's, I think the best way to describe it is a light DK. So it sits in that space between sport weight and DK. It actually sits right in the middle. I think you could knit it either side. This particular pattern is knitted with a DK weight yarn with a gauge of 25 stitches. So it's actually, and he uses US 3 to US 6 size needles. So that is 4 millimeter, 3.5, I think, or 3.25 and 4s. And I knitted this on a 4 millimeter, and it was fabulous, absolutely fabulous. So it is certainly, and I mean, this is all, it's blocked up beautifully, and it's great. So I just think that if this is a limited edition yarn, we're only going to do it once. We've done it especially for Can. I would definitely be getting some of this into stash, because it's one of those yarns that you may not knit straight away, but there will be that perfect project where you think, oh, actually that would be really incredible. And whether that be, and I think a knitted t-shirt or a camisole in this would be great. And that's why I wanted to do this, because this wee shell I think is ideal for that yarn. So that is going to be, so there's 3 shades of it. It's going to be, I think, $7.95. $7.95? Oh gosh, I'm going to have to check that now. No, I should have written all of these things. Oh, I did write these things down. Yes, it is $7.95 on sale. So it's going to be $9.95 every day price for whatever's left over. But just for those 5 days, it's going to be $7.95. That's 100 grams, 250 meters. That is incredible, incredible value. So I would certainly not dilly-dally on that one when that goes live. So that is, it's called Nightfall, and that will be living on the sale page. I've also got a couple of dips that we're going to do. I'm angling for these 2 to be in the sale. Claire and I are in discussions about that at the moment. There actually could be up to 4 in the sale. I think definitely these 2. I'm just holding these to the light so you can see them. So they're actually little 20s. They're like little 20s. So they're 2 purples. I can see Delene getting excited from here with the purple. So this one here is a dark one. Look at that. Just so gorgeous. So that's the dark one. And this is the light one, which is little lights of lilac and pink, and it's so pretty. So these are 2 that I want to see in for the sale, and we're looking at potentially another 2 more. If you're going to physically be here in person and coming in store, there are going to be other dips, little leftovers, and there's a few what we call much smaller trials, and so there are going to be a few little bits and pieces there. Will be available at sale price on Thursday. We go into sale on Wednesday the 24th, Delene, is when we go into sale. So Wednesday the 24th to Monday the 29th. And we did that so then if you are coming to Can, you can actually do some shopping, actually jump online and do some shopping prior to getting here. And actually, if you want to do that on the Wednesday, up to probably lunchtime Thursday, if you are coming to Can, you can actually jump online, do a bit of shopping, select click in store, and then pop in the comments attending Can for pickup, and then you can come in and pick those up either on Friday or Saturday from us. But we'll only probably do that on the Wednesday and Thursday morning orders only. So yes, we'll fish those out for you, and you can pick those up when you're here. In fact, I already know somebody who's put in I think I've seen 2 orders so far, because they're coming to Can and they're picking things up. But they've got a couple of things in the sock sale, and yeah, so that's it's so much fun. So yes, dips. I'm hoping we're going to have 4 dips. These will be $14.95 like all the others. And we've got a couple of dips which we'll be launching next month, which are stunning. These are the premium dips. They are exactly, I think we cracked it. I think the boys have cracked it. They look incredible. So they will be coming in September. We're really excited about them. What else have we got coming? The new roving that I talked about, which the full range actually went off for photography last night. And when we got all of them together, they look fantastic. I am so delighted with the colours and the story within the colours. What roving is, and this is not one of the colours, this is just a sample, but this is the sample ball and we had it made up. What roving is this is literally a single roving DK, just 100% wool. It's similar wool to our vintage, actually. I think, in fact, it might even be the same 28 micron in our vintage. So it's nice and bouncy. It's got all the beautiful bounce, but it's not as rustic as our Southlander Perrindale or Cozy and Snug. So it's definitely much, much softer than that. But as you can see, it's got lots of life and bounce. And it's just got this beautiful, lovely, soft single roving. We've done this in these beautiful shades, which emulate going on a road trip around New Zealand, some of our favourite places. And there's 8 shades in the range, and I think they look fantastic. Where this yarn is wonderful is that if you're wanting to do some colour work, these single roving yarns look amazing. The Nanilchik Swan Show that I made would look incredible in this. Anything using Lopi yarns out of Iceland, they tend to be all single roving yarns. The one big advantage with this versus a Lopi is those yarns tend to be definitely much, much toothier than these. This will be much softer to wear against the skin, but you will still get that beautiful smoothness of the single roving in the colour work. And because it's a single roving and non-treated, you'll get that nice bit of grip, which means that if you're steeking it, you should have absolutely no problems at all. So we're very, very, very excited. Very excited about this. So this is coming, and here's the best part, everybody. Everyday price $5.95, which is incredible value. So we're trying to make these yarns as affordable for everybody as possible. So we're really proud of that. So $5.95 for roving. So that will be launched on Wednesday. So you'll get that first chance to get that on Wednesday. We also have some 14 plies in the sale. We've got some in 50-gram balls and some in larger 100-gram balls. The colours, again, in those, they're both short ranges. But if you are wanting to knit something really fast, the shades that are in these 14 plies are nothing like what we've got in any of the other chunky ranges we've had before. I think they're really beautiful. They make great blankets, really quick chunky knits. So, there's lots of balloon sleeve cardigans and all that sort of thing using larger format yarns. Great actually for quick crocheting, but if you want instant gratification knitting, these 14 plies are perfect. We only have very limited amounts of those. Once they've gone, they're gone. They're complete limited editions. And they are going out incredible prices. You're looking at $3.95 for the 50-gram balls and just $5.95 for the 100-gram balls. So that is great buying. What else have we got? Whisper DK. Whisper DK is also up for grabs as well. So if you feel like a wee bit of fuzz, want to do some big chunky double stranding to hit on larger needles, Whisper DK is perfect, particularly some of those petite knits type projects. That's going out at $7.95 a ball. So I tell you, that was the other core range that's going out. I knew there was one more, which is Whisper DK. And then there's a few other little bits and bobs that will be popping up in store as well, which you will just need to have to come in and have a look for yourselves, won't you? You need to come visit and have a good look at that. And again, if you're here local, but you're not attending the event, come and see us here in store Wednesday through Saturday. We're open, plus Monday is the sale. And then on Sunday, you can call down to East Pier between 9 and noon and check out. There'll be 15 traders down there, all trading their wares from yarns to fibre for spinning, project bags, wood. I think beautiful hand-turned wooden bowls. There's all sorts that's going to be there for the Yarn and Craft Market as part of CAN. Entry is free, East Pier, plenty of parking. Bring cash, that's always a good thing. And yeah, so that's happening Sunday week. So that is Sunday the 28th. So there we go. Lots to happen between now and then. It's really exciting. I can't wait to see everybody. It just feels like it has been forever since everyone was together, not just the 2 years. And I just can't wait. I just can't wait to be able for us to all come together and just talk and laugh and shop and enjoy the thing that we love so much, which is great yarn and knitting. So until then, I will catch up with you again on Monday. I will do one check-in with you on Monday, but then that will probably be it for me for the rest of the week, and even potentially the following week as well. But we'll see. Actually, the following week I'll have Ethan here. We'll see if we can do a special little diaries with Ethan before I whip him to the airport. But until then, I'll see you on Monday. I'll see you Monday. We've got the weekend to knit up. Until then, take care.